CINcompass. I'm going to be taking you through today's webinar on CINcompass Basics. I do want to go over a few housekeeping items before we get started. Use your control panel on the right-hand corner of your screen to ask any questions that you might have. We will go over those towards the end of the webinar. So if you have those, you can type them as we're going through the webinar, and then we'll get to those questions at the end. So for today, we're going to go over how to log in, navigating through the dashboard, and creating new clients and matters. I'm going to give you a little background on CINcompass. CINcompass is a cloud-based product which allows you to file bankruptcies and manage other areas of your practice. Some of CINcompass features include unlimited users at no extra charge, free core integration where you can receive email notifications from ECF and you're able to view the attachments free of charge, and enhanced due diligence, allowing you to save time with integration of data into your bankruptcy petition. And beyond bankruptcy, CINcompass allows you to manage multiple areas of practice. So we're going to go ahead and get logged in. A few things you want to take into account when you're, if it's your first time logging in, the system is going to ask you to create a new password, select a security image, and create some security questions to go along with your system anytime you may forget your password. You'll also want to use either Internet Explorer or Firefox to access CINcompass. Okay. So here on the screen we have our dashboard. Your dashboard is going to give you textual and graphical data as it pertains to your firm. These boxes here that we have, we call them widgets. You can kind of move these around on the screen to kind of get an idea of where you want them. You can also select which ones you want to see. If there are certain ones you want to pay attention to, you can have those listed here. Okay. At the top of the screen, you have your main menu toolbar. This is where you'll get access to master lists inside of each of these tabs. You can also create items in these different tabs as well. You have your search bar here where you can type in the last name of a client and it'll generate a list for you. Your user tab here has some of your user settings. You can change the default or the layout of your CINcompass when you first log in. So if you want to see your calendar every time you log in, you can set that as a default. Your setup wizard, which is here, this is just a setup tool that you'll want to go through if it's your first time using the system. We have already put in basic information as it pertains to your firm, but if you have additional locations, additional users, you'll want to input that information as well. And the setup wizard will guide you through how to get that set up. Okay? Your settings tab over here to the right, this has all of your account settings. So anything that is changed here is going to affect everyone who uses the CINcompass account under their own username. You can change some bankruptcy settings, templates, and firm settings here. Only administrators have access to this information. So if there's a paralegal in your office that you want to give access to be able to change those items, you'll need to change their permissions inside of the system. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and create a new client. There's actually two ways to do that in CINcompass. You can either come to Contacts and go Create Client, or come to Matters and choose Bankruptcy or Custom, depending on the type of matter. Either way that you start, it's going to take you to through the same process. So we're going to choose Contacts Client, and we're going to choose Bankruptcy. So this is where you're going to fill out the details of your client here. You want to fill in as much information as you possibly can about your client, because this information will then be used in your petition. Okay. You also have additional information you can include, like a joint applicant that could be filing with your client, dependent. Just hit this plus sign here. Add dependent. Your matter type. All of your matters will default to a 7 when actually created, but you can come here and change those based on what they're supposed to be. The intake meeting tab we make an optional feature. If you want to schedule the appointment for your client, you can do that here if it's the first consultation. But because we know that some of our users have their own sort of calendaring system, we make this optional. So if you want to use this, you can, but you do not have to. We also have an area for notes. As well as a section for intake details. This is just a place where you can write additional notes, but we have sort of a questionnaire here that you can look through. Okay. So once you've completed all of this information, you're just going to hit complete. This is then going to generate your client's matter. Okay. So under your Manage Matter tool, you have your case management tools here, where you can add tasks, notes, events, and any other important information as it pertains to your client's matter. Since we're under the summary page, I want to go over a few things here. You have an activation and status section. If you're wanting to change the status of a client, you can do that by showing here. You can add additional statuses too, but this just gives you the idea of where that client might be inside of or during the process of their bankruptcy. Okay. We also have a section for record number. This is a generic number that the system will generate. If you have your own record number, you can put that information in here. Like if you have your own system that you keep your clients under, you can put that information here, but you will need to input it for each client. The system will not then remember it and then do it for each client. If you needed to copy your matter, you scroll down to the bottom. You could copy it here. Okay. If later down the line you realize your client is going to have a spouse that's going to file with them, you can add them here by hitting Add Joint. Your bankruptcy information tab is going to have all of your data entry. So your V-22 petition, asset schedules, liability schedules. We're going to go into detail a little bit more about these tomorrow, but I just want to give you an idea of where that information would be. Okay. Your Manage Forms tab is here. This is where you'll come to prepare your documents for filing and edit any forms that you need or create any motions that you might need later on. And then you have your post-filing tab. Your post-filing tab is where you'll be able to put in that second course, the financial management course, for your client once they've completed it. Okay. So today's webinar is fairly short, but I do want to go ahead and open it up to questions that you all might have regarding the system.